Today we are back with another festival for the fall season. So far the festivals that I've gone to this season are the Apple Festival, where we went apple picking. I went to the Spoon Bread Festival, and now I am going to the Millstone Festival. I have never been to the Millstone Festival before, so I'm very excited to go. There's going to be all kinds of craft booths just like before at Spoon Bread, and I have also been told that there's some good live music, which there was at Spoon Bread as well, though I did have to leave early for that one. I got to hear a little bit. Hopefully I get to hear a little bit more today. You can't see him, but much like in the other videos, he is here, I promise. So today's plan is I still need to get ready. So I'm gonna have my breakfast, and after I eat breakfast, I am gonna get up and get ready like I typically do in these vlogs, and I'll show you my outfit and everything. Today's group is gonna be me, my mom, and my brother and his fiance, who is also one of my best friends. I'm not completely certain what's in store for us at the festival since I've never been, but there are also a lot of shops along the street that it's on. There's some antique stores and everything, and if they're open during the festival today, maybe we're gonna go and hit a couple of those. And after we get done with all of our festivities at the festival, we're going to go and pick up some pumpkins, and we're gonna do our yearly pumpkin carving. And we'll get back together at the end, and I'll do a brief overview and show you what I picked up at the festival, if anything, just like I have done in the past. This is so good today. So I am gonna go eat breakfast, and I will pick back up with you later when I'm getting ready. I look insane. Here's the hair and makeup. I just pulled my hair up. I'm not really sure about it, but it's what we're going with. Here's the makeup. I used the Dexter palette for all of it. I really like how it turned out. Here's our outfit. We went a little more Halloween. Got my Dexter t-shirt on, and my favorite shorts, and my Doc Martens, which they are sparkly, but you cannot tell on camera. So very soon, my good friend, aka my brother's fiance, is going to be on her way to come and get me. So we are going to go and pick out our pumpkins for carving this evening, and then we're gonna head on to the festival. So I will see you very soon at the Millstone Festival. Welcome to the Millstone Festival in Richmond, Kentucky. So immediately we started walking around all of the booths, and there were a couple of artists right off the bat. This art booth right here that you can see I will talk about later, as I did end up purchasing something from this guy. I was on the fence at this booth because they were like slate stone with hand-painted pumpkins and things on them, and then these were some wooden ones, and they were all so gorgeous. I was obsessed with the pumpkins with the little berries on it. I just love the vibe out here on Main Street. I had to get a really pretty shot of how the sky looked behind this church. So this next booth is the Crochet by Claire booth, which we will talk about later. I will have you know somebody did purchase this really large octopus later. A couple of the booths had a bunch of cute little jewelry items and keychains. For some reason, I was obsessed with these cigarette earrings. I don't smoke. This is footage of the Glendon Hotel, which I believe is out of use, but I've always been kind of obsessed with it. It's like super pretty, and I have some kind of fixation with it. This booth was all by Handmade Pottery by Shirley Hall. I couldn't find any website or anything to link any of her items. It doesn't seem like she really has one, except for like her personal Facebook account, so I did not add her stuff on here. I like the pumpkin ones, their little hats, those are my favorite. This was another crochet booth that I wish that I had her info, but I don't. She had all kinds of Pokemon. The Mothman was super cute. And this little pumpkin guy I was obsessed with, and I almost bought him. I love these little Halloween signs. I was so close to buying one, but I was like, I've already got plenty of signs. I didn't need one. Of course, we had to stop to look at the gnomes. My mom really loves the gnomes, so we were looking at those together. I took a quick peek at the True Heart vintage stuff, but nothing really caught my eye. This was inside of the Second and Main vintage store. They always have some really cool stuff in here. They had some pottery. This pink pony club plankton was absolutely killing me. I low-key really want it. Maybe I'll have to go back and see if it's still there. They had all kinds of local honey and different crafts. And then they had Paul Byrne's art. I didn't buy any of these prints, but they always have his work at Second and Main. So I am 100% going to go back and pick out a couple of his prints. I love his artwork so much. He always does pieces that are of Main Street in Richmond and different places around Kentucky, so they're absolutely gorgeous, and I really, really want to get a couple. So there was live music outside. I couldn't put in any other performance. I believe they were called Five Below Band. All of their music was covers of like classic rock and 80s music, so it was fantastic. It was a great choice of music. However, it is all copyrighted, so I could not put any of that in my video. There was a petting zoo, y'all. There was a petting zoo, and obviously I spent an absurd amount of time here. I mean, there was a donkey, there were cows, there were little goats. The brown curly sheep makes me want to cry. He's so cute. After I finally dragged myself away from the animals, we went and looked at some more booths. There were some cool booths with this beading and these decor items, and then we got to the Millstone Cruise Inn, which is their little car show that they do. My brother's really into cars, so we ended up checking out all of these. And this is Millstone Park, which is where the festival gets its name, of course. At this point, we had finished up at the festival and we had headed over to Hokkaido, which is my favorite ramen place in town. It is so good. I had a boba tea for the first time and was surprised that I really, really liked it because I don't like tea. But it did not taste like tea and I was very pleased. And as you can tell, my food was absolutely delicious as well. I think the boba tea I got was honeydew with strawberry boba. Super good, super refreshing. We are back from the Millstone Festival. After we got done eating at Hokkaido, we went shopping a little bit. We went to the craft store and we went to Five Below because I needed some Hello Kitty blind bags for Halloween. And after that, we split off from my mom, and me, my brother, and his fiance went and we carved some pumpkins. I'll put a picture of my pumpkin in here because I did not actually end up filming any of this, but we did do that. It was really fun. So my brother's name is Austin and his fiance is Grace, so I will go ahead and put a picture of at least Grace's pumpkin in here. Hers was really, really funny. It was like the flaming Elmo meme. I don't think I have a picture of Austin's, but he did like the Halo logo, if you know Halo, which if you don't know Halo, where have you been for the past like 2 decades? The festival was a lot of fun. I will say though, we did not stay quite as long, so I don't have quite as much footage. I feel like I got at the other festivals. But we did have a good time. There weren't near as many like artists and stuff as there were at Spoonbread, which makes sense because Berea is very much an arts town and Richmond is not as much. And a lot of the booths that were there were from the churches in the area because there's a ton of churches right there on that street, and then from like local businesses like the vintage stores, and there's an antique shop and different things like that. And then there were a few local artists, which if I do have the information for the artists, of course I will put them in the video. And then I did purchase a couple of things, so I will put their contact information as I'm talking about their items. So let's go ahead and move right into the most exciting part, which is what did I purchase at the festival. I only got a couple of things things this time, but they were 2 items that I'm absolutely obsessed with and they really spoke to me. So the first thing I got was a crochet plushie. Now, it took me a little while to decide which one I wanted, because if you saw earlier in the video, I was really obsessed with that big pumpkin dude. He was like this big and he was so cute. I ended up not getting him because I ended up being more in favor of what I did purchase from a different artist. However, that other artist that did the pumpkin guy, she also did the Pokemon and the Mothman. I don't have that artist's contact info, unfortunately. I really wish I did. Her stuff was so cute. She was really talented. That pumpkin guy, I thought I had footage of the back of it, but I guess I didn't. But just so you're aware, he did have butt cheeks. So let's move on to the things that I did purchase. First up, we have this adorable crochet donkey. I love him, and he's got like, this does come off, and she had all different colors, and he's like got a fuzzy tail and mane, and he's like perfectly stuffed, and the crochet work on this is so impressive. Like, it looks, you'll see in the close-up video, it looks beautiful. Like, the stitching is so good. His little ears are so cute, and I am absolutely in love with him. This donkey and many other things were made by Crochet by Claire. All 4 of us that went actually ended up buying something from her. My mom got a little ghost with like a little candy corn hat, and Grace ended up getting a little dragon, and then Austin ended up getting a mini octopus. That was really cute. So that was our purchase from Crochet by Claire. Our next and final purchase I am extremely excited about. This was one of the first booths that we walked up to. I have a very brief clip of me walking up to his booth. He had all kinds of stuff. He had some really beautiful original paintings, and he also had stuff based off of musicians and movies and TV shows and all kinds of things like that. So I ended up doing basically what I did at the Spoonbread Festival, and I found something for my 80s wall behind me. If you remember and you watched my Spoonbread vlog, you will see that I got the Marty McFly Blacklight Reactive Painting. Now this piece is from Nate Michael's art. It is this absolutely gorgeous watercolor of Bender and Claire from The Breakfast Club. Anybody who knows me knows that The Breakfast Club is like my favorite movie of all time. The yellow is just such a stunning light for this, and it's just so vibrant and pops so much, and I don't know how he managed to capture the absolute loving look in Bender's eyes, but he did. So those were the 2 things that I purchased at the Millstone Festival. As always, any artists or vendors that I know their information, especially the ones that I purchased from, I will put all of it on screen as well as in the description below so that you can feel free to check them out and buy from them online. I highly recommend you check out their stuff. It looks like that fat is going to finish out this video with me. I don't know if you can see him, but he's here, I promise. So that's going to be it for me today. I really hope you guys enjoyed coming along with me for all these festivals this year. I do believe that the Millstone Festival is my last one for the fall season. Ow, hey! Why are you biting me? Don't bite me! Thank you again so much for watching. Make sure you go check out the vendors and artists down below. And if you want to see any of my other videos and my other vlogs for the fall, go check out my channel. I have already uploaded several videos since my return to YouTube after a decade. And stay tuned for the rest of the videos that I have planned. Bye everybody. Say bye, Fat. Ow!